Hi students, this is A. Mandri Kumar Rajesh. In this video, we are going to discuss a topic called bioassay for target gene effect. Actually, it is a method to estimate the potential of the target gene by measuring its effects on living animals or tissues. So, it is a method to estimate the effect of target gene by using a living animal or tissues. That is why they have mentioned bioassay. So we are using a living animal or tissues, a living organism. That is why they have mentioned bioassay for target gene effect. That target gene may be a insertion DNA or insert DNA or a foreign DNA or a passenger DNA or a exogenous DNA or a gene of interest. So we are using a living organism to analyze the effect of the target gene. That is why they have mentioned bioassay for target gene effect. Then the gene cloning experiment, the gene targeting experiment mainly targeting on nucleus, because nucleus contains chromosomes. Chromosomes are the carriers of genes. So genes are nothing but a segment of DNA. So the gene targeting experiment mainly targeting on the expression of the gene or the expression of a DNA, and this leads to three important techniques. They are knockout, then knockdown, the third technique namely knock-in. Gene knockout, gene knockdown, gene knock-in. For this purpose, we are using two types of vectors. They are insertion vector. The second type of vector is called replacement vector or transplacement vector or a substitution vector So I am going to teach you these three techniques one by one. Finally, I am going to tell about the insertion vector and the replacement vector. Let me teach you the process gene knockout. Gene knockout means we are removing or we are excluding a particular gene from an organism permanently by introducing a target gene. So this technique used to study the function of a particular gene by removing the gene from an organism permanently by using target gene. Because under normal condition, that particular gene are able to produce mRNA by the process transcription. Then they get translated into a protein. So due to that removal of that particular gene or by exclusion of that particular gene, that organisms are not able to produce that particular protein, results in the changes occur in the phenotype of an organism. So by excluding a particular gene from an organism, we are able to study the effect of that particular gene by observing the phenotype of an organism. Then we are able to compare and identify the difference between knockout gene organism and normal individual. Then we are able to identify the difference between the normal individual and the gene knockout individual. So this is a picture shows the process gene knockout. So this is a chromosome which carries the target gene, and this is the normal chromosome. So this chromosome which carries the target gene enters into the genome of an organism. Then the homologous recombination takes place between this chromosome which carries the target gene and the normal chromosome. So after that crossing over results in the exchanges of the genetic material. Then the normal chromosome which contains the target gene. So the target gene enters into the normal chromosome, results in the removal of or exclusion of that particular gene. Removal of that particular gene from that chromosome, from that genome, from that organism. So that process is called as gene knockout, and that process is called as gene knockout. In the absence of that particular gene, we are able to identify the function of that particular gene. So this process used to identify the particular gene function in their absence, and that process is called as gene knockout. And this process is a tedious process. It takes more time to do and it is a tedious process. Then I am going to tell you the next process, gene knock-in. Actually, the gene knock-in process refers to genetic engineering method because it involves one-for-one substitution of DNA sequence information in a specific or a genetic locus. That means this is a targeting vector, this is the target gene. So this targeting vector contains the gene of interest. Then this targeting vector gets inserted into the genome of an organism, results in the recombination between the targeting vector and the target gene. After the recombination, that is after the crossing over, the target gene get inserted with the gene of interest. Then this gene of interest can be expressed as a protein, especially the gene of interest get inserted on the target gene at specific locus. The major difference between the traditional transgenic technique and this gene knock-in process is, in gene knock-in process, the gene of interest get inserted on a specific locus. So that is the major difference between the traditional transgenic technique and gene knock-in process. That is why this gene knock-in process is otherwise called as target insertion. Otherwise called as target insertion, because the gene of interest get inserted at a specific locus or a genetic locus. Then this gene of interest can express as a protein and it leads to changes in the phenotypic expression of that organism. Then I am going to tell you the next technique or next method called gene knockdown. Gene knockdown process. First, I give you the difference between gene knockout and gene knockdown. In gene knockout process, the particular gene is removed or excluded from an organism permanently. It is removed from that genome. While in the case of gene knockdown, that particular gene which is present in that organism, but the genes are not allowed to express by introducing a non-coding RNA molecule. So in this technique, gene expression can be effectively reduced or eliminated by inducing non-coding RNA molecule. So this non-coding RNA molecule stops or inhibit the RNA translation process. So that short RNA molecule can make that gene silence, make that gene, particular gene silence by degrading the mRNA, So that short RNA molecule can make that particular gene silence by degrading the mRNA, and that process is called as gene knockdown. So in gene knockout process, that particular gene is removed from that organism permanently, but while in the case of gene knockdown, that particular gene which is present in an organism but they are not allowed to express by introducing anti-codon or non-coding RNA molecules. So that's all about the gene knocking, gene knockout and gene knockdown process. Now I am going to tell about the difference between the replacement vector and the insertion vector. Let me teach you the difference between the insertion vector and the replacement vector. In the insertion vector, no phage DNA is removed and foreign DNA fragments are inserted. Actually, these two vectors are derived from lamidophage. Lamidophage means it is a virus which can affect the bacteria. So these two vectors are derived from lamidophage. So in insertion vector, no phage DNA is removed and foreign DNA fragments are inserted. While in the case of replacement vector, in which a middle dispensable filler fragments is discarded and replaced with insert DNA. So this is the middle portion of that lamidophage. It can be replaced with insert DNA. While in the case of insertion vector, this is the lamidophage vector, and there is no removal of the phage DNA molecule, and the recognition sites are very small. It contains very small fragments of the insert DNA. Then it has single recognition site for one or more restriction enzyme. It contains restriction sites flanking the non-essential region of the phage. Flanking means, so this middle region is guarded by these two arms. Then the foreign DNA fragments are inserted into this site in lamidogenome. Since phage DNA is not removed, so there is a limit on the size of insert. So here there is no the removal of phage DNA. That is why there is a limitation on the size of insert. While in the case of replacement vector, it can accommodate larger insert than insertion vector. So that is the major difference between these two vectors. So that's all about today's video. If you have any doubt, please clarify with me. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you.